This segment is brought to you by Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. All right. Hello again, everyone. I'm Martin Falls. It is time for Good Vibes, and joining us is Debbie Cox-DeNova.
Hello.
Straight from a vacay.
Yes.
How was it?
It was amazing.
All right. Yeah, you look vibrant, relaxed.
Thank you.
And ready to go. And I like that color.
Thank you so much.
Is that deep navy blue?
Is it a royal blue?
Okay, yeah.
I don't know.
I'm colorblind anyway, but it looks good. All right. Becoming socially magnetic.
Yes.
Can people do that?
Of course they can.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I guess that's why you put the topic up
Yes,
there.
yes.
All right. I'm listening.
It's a skill set that is to actually learn. So this goes to the conversations that we talk about being charismatic. Socially magnetic means that you're pulling people to you quite naturally. And the irony is that the more that you try to be socially magnetic, the more people are typically repulsed. And the reason that's true is because you don't try to be something that you are naturally not, right? Like if you're trying really hard, it means that on some level, you don't believe that you are worthy of pulling people in. And that's the energy that people will respond to. So we're going to talk about how to get true social magnetism in this conversation. And this information comes from Julian Blanc and Vanessa Van Edwards, my favorite. And basically, when we start with Julian Blanc, what he was saying is that there are 4 layers to communication. And if you can get to the depth, the deepest layer of communication, then people will listen to you no matter what you're talking about, okay? So the first layer is the part where most people actually focus. They hyper-focus on this. And that's, what are you saying? Okay, so this is what people are typically thinking about when you're talking. What are you saying? Okay, right. But one layer below that, which is more important, is how are you saying it? Okay, and then if you go a layer below that is, what is your intention behind what you're saying? And on the fourth and most important level, it's your self-esteem. How do you feel about yourself while you're saying it? Now, this is the layer at which hardly anyone pays attention, but this is the most important, because what Julian Blanc was saying, and he said this in a talk that he was giving to in front of a crowd, he said, you could literally be talking about anything. And if you have all 4 layers of those things in place, people will listen with rapt attention. And he demonstrated by talking about a random crack on the floor. He's like, look at this crack right here. He brings everyone's attention down, right? And he's like, and then I asked somebody, why is this crack here? And then he looks up at the audience and he says, why are you still listening, right? And it's because whenever you have a good relationship to yourself, everything that you talk about is charged with a specific kind of energy that people are drawn to. So yes, think about what you're saying, and definitely think about how you're saying it. Think about the intention behind what you're saying, but most importantly, what is your relationship to yourself? It's all about self-esteem.
Don't they call it charisma?
Charisma, exactly. Same thing. Social magnetism, charisma. We talked about charisma as a blend between warmth and competence. So charisma is that balance where it's like, if you're too warm and you don't have enough competence, people like you, but they don't respect you. Right. But if you have a lot of competence and not enough warmth, people respect you, but they don't like you. You have balance of both, then you have charisma. Okay. Social magnetism takes it a bit further, where it's like, there's that je ne sais quoi, like something's going on over here. He or she has the sauce. What is it, right?
What's that word?
The sauce.
No, Jenna, what you...
Je ne sais quoi. That I don't know what. It's French for I don't know what, right? It's just kind of that thing, that mystique that makes you kind of look longer at someone, listen harder to what they're saying, because whatever it is that they have, you want some of it. Now, a big part of why people are sort of conditioned out of their natural magnetism, because if you look at children are oftentimes more, like as a whole, more magnetic than adults are. And a big function of that is that part of what we believe, or what we're conditioned into believing, is that growing up means getting heavier and more serious. And oftentimes we are taught, especially through high school, that in order to be accepted, we have to cut parts of ourselves off and show up in a cool way, right? To try to be cool and to pull people in. Well, people really... In adolescence. And it sticks. You know, for a lot of people, it sticks. But the problem is that people don't really actually want to be around cool people, serious people. There are actually 3 things that Blanc says human beings as a whole are after. Do you know what? I want you to see if you can guess what they are.
Well, laughter and fun, for one.
Fun is the first one.
Okay, fun is the first one. Responsibility.
Nope.
Okay. Let's see. 3 things that people look for. Fun. I guess that's laughter too.
Yep.
Fun. Intelligence. Tell me the other 2.
Carefree and passion.
Whoa, how did I miss passion? God, that would have been number 1 on my list. Yeah.
So
You're right. That is true.
if you think about how much of life sort of deconditions us from fun, being fun, carefree, and passionate, right? First of all, like I said, adulting or growing up is synonymous with like no more fun, or you relegate fun to the weekends or vacations, right? But for the most part, you be serious, right? Carefree. Carefree means like I'm literally just enjoying my life over here. You know, I'm not really editing myself to be this or that. Like I'm just loving life and
Let's
being
go in the
carefree.
Jeep and explore. Sure.
Yes,
Let's
exactly.
go do this. Sure.
Spontaneity,
Yeah.
like let's enjoy life, eat it up with a big spoon. And the third one, passion. A lot of people cut their passions down or out because they couldn't make money doing it. Like if they love to paint or sing, but they weren't quite good enough to make money off of it. They move into adulthood and cut off the stuff that doesn't make them money, that's not more practical. And that's the stuff that would actually bring them
Yeah,
to
and
life.
if you don't have passion in your relationship, it could kill all the other good qualities.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So if you are a person who can unlock, because Blanc says it's not about like gaining it, it's about unlocking and unleashing it, fun, carefree, and passion energy, people will naturally go, what's over here? I want some of
Yeah.
this.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
we're contagious, right?
How do you got that? All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back right now. During the break, why don't you turn to your partner and show a little passion? We'll be right back. This segment was brought to you by Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. All right, now that you quit chasing your partner around the house, let's get back to becoming socially magnetic. Don't people lose that and then they got to find their way back?
Yes. And if we're fortunate, we can find our way back, right? Unfortunately, a lot of people lose it. They're conditioned out of it. They're domesticated, if you will, to our society. And then they just never get it back. So this conversation is really important because it's not only about pulling people in, it's about having a really better relationship with yourself at the end of the day. Because like I said, if layer number 4 is about your own self-esteem, about your relationship to yourself, then what that means is that you get to create a new agreement with yourself that you are going to be, like some people actually think, okay, well, if I'm going to be self-expressed, it's going to be like now, but not now. Now, but not now. We learn through the process of enculturation that maybe somebody who's outside of our league, whatever that may be, you know, dating wise, in you know,
And that's
business.
only our self-perception.
Absolutely. So we judge someone else outside of our league, and then we stifle. So we might be charismatic with like our core group of people, or with our family, right? We might unlock the best version of ourselves. We laugh, we play, we're completely ourselves. But then when there is someone around that we judge to be superior to us, there's a stifling.
Prime example of that, Biff on Back to the Future.
Yes, right.
All right, find your way. I'm not being rude. I want to find out who's saying find your way back.
Yes, go for it. Go for it.
Keep talking. I'm listening.
Yeah. So basically what the new agreement for yourself is, I will be self-expressed. I will live authentically no matter where. And now we talked about authenticity is the highest frequency that you can live at. So that means that all parts of yourself are being expressed in the moment. You no longer, we're not in high school anymore. So whatever misunderstanding you developed in high school that you have to cut parts of yourself off to fit in, you need to understand that if you are still doing that, that people are tolerating you instead of actually being magnetically drawn to you. We can sense.
Jefferson Starship.
Jefferson Starship.
1981.
Okay, yeah.
It was a hit.
Love
Find
that.
your way back. Yeah, that was
Always
a
the
good song.
music.
Yeah, it is the music. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
All right, so, but the more you practice it, the better you get.
Yes, and to also understand that they're like maybe, okay, for example, when you were a kid, you were taught in your family system that you need to be quiet. You need to be quiet and you need to actually like sit properly in order to be accepted in this family system. Well, as a kid, you're operating from immaturity, you might think, oh my gosh, like if I don't do this, I'm not accepted here. And we're wired for confluence with our parental figure. So we'll do whatever we need to do. Well, let's just say that it's required of you as an adult to speak out against something that is actually, deeply aligned with your values. That's going to be problematic if you have a rule that you're following that like this part of yourself that would speak out is not welcome and is not appropriate. So the work of this is actually to pull those parts of yourself out and get yourself to be self-expressed. Always be authentic no matter who you're with, because authenticity is what pulls people in. It gives other people permission to also be authentic. The other thing is that's pulling from Vanessa Van Edwards. We've talked a lot about her work. 3 things that science says make people socially magnetic and charismatic. One of them is dynamic hand gestures, right? We love people who like reduce the cognitive load by saying this is a big idea, right? Or this is just a little idea.
It's really big.
Right, exactly. It really helps people to kind of like stay engaged, right? We also love like the eyebrow raise. Like this signals to people, this is universally, it signals to people, I'm about to say something really important and you might want to listen. Also, if you're saying something important, me raising my eyebrows communicates to you, oh, that's really interesting to me, right? But the third one is that
she thinks I'm hot.
Yeah. So people who are socially magnetic and charismatic, they will, instead of asking boring questions like, so what do you do for work? What's your name? Where are you from? Which is problematic because Vanessa Van Edwards says like, okay, that actually signals to other people that you're evaluating their value. What do you do for work, right? Unfortunately, communicates like, I'm about to evaluate your value, right?
How much money do you make?
Correct. Absolutely. Yeah. And so even though it's understandable why you would want to do that, a kinder thing to say is like, what are you working on that's exciting? Okay. What are you working on exciting? What's good lately? Right. That's a kinder thing because what you're doing is you're giving them a portal into optimism. So they're scanning for what's exciting lately. You ask them that, and they get to pull from their life wherever they want to explain what's exciting. So you're allowing them to be exciting. Remember passion, right? And then on your end of things, to work on something in order to be interesting and passionate, you need to be working on something, even a little bit on the side, that is interesting and that ignites your own passion. You don't have to be talking about it all over the place, but when you're working on it, it actually makes you feel like a more interesting, passionate person. So you come across that way, and that invites them to also come.
And don't be the one that goes, oh, I brought my Jaguar in to get new tires today. How about I just brought my car in to get new tires today? That way the person goes, what do you drive?
Yeah.
I have a Jaguar.
Right. And that all goes to that whole like signaling to other people, like the egoic thing of like, I'm worthy, all of that. If you're doing that, that is a sign that you don't actually believe that there's worth here. And magnetic people literally have this core confidence, not situational confidence, but this core confidence that pulls in instead of going like, how can I make you like me? Which is like a pushing out, right?
Yeah, I drove my 1978 Pinto to get some new tires today. Thank you. Good time. All right. We'll see you later. Keep chasing your wife around the house. Bye. This segment was brought to you by Trapp Chevrolet. We're always on your side.